Hey guys, what's going on? Bosch here, and I have a very serious topic to discuss today. It's something that affects a lot of people, and no, it's not random boners or anything like that, stupid. It's pretty serious. It's something that has affected me quite recently, and it caused me to, not caused me, but I was recommended by a doctor that I quit my job over this because it was affecting my health, and honestly, and not just my physical health, but my mental health as well. And I'm talking about stress. And I had an issue, I think it started in June last year, about a week before my birthday. Started getting these stomach pains, and they weren't just regular stomach pains like you are when you're hungry or, you know, you've got a sore stomach or anything like that. It was short, sharp pains followed, well, not followed by, but like, as well as like a burning, like warm sensation. And it went away after about a week. I had my birthday and went away. Anyway, in about August, so a couple of months later, I started getting them again. And this is only really ever happened when I was at work. And just to fill you in on that situation, I worked in a liquor store, which is pretty straightforward. It sells alcohol, and it wasn't the best job in the world. It wasn't the worst by far. There's a lot worse jobs out there, believe me. I've had a couple of them, but it was, when it got down to it, it was boring. Now, the discounts on alcohol was good. Don't get me wrong. I love my booze, but yeah, the stress. It wasn't so much stress to begin with. It was just boredom because we were in a shopping center, like a mall. If you honestly want to call it a mall, we call it a shopping center. But it wasn't very busy, and the mall was busy, but our shop wasn't busy. People didn't want to buy alcohol from us because our store was privately owned, so it was a little bit more expensive. And when I say a little bit, I'm talking like anywhere between $5 and $10 difference, depending on the item. Could be more sometimes, depending on how expensive the item is. And funny story, actually, we had a guy come in who bought $2,300 worth of wine. It was pretty awesome. It was only like 12 bottles of wine. It was like the best stuff you can get that we had. So that was pretty cool. And anyway, so I wasn't very busy, and I don't want to go into, technically I'm not allowed to say like how much we made a day, but it wasn't much. Let's just say that. And the customer count was like less than 100, and I'm there by myself for 9 hours a day. I start at 8:45. I open the shop at 9, and I'm there till 6:15, close at 6. And I'm there by myself, and I'm not trying to badmouth anyone there that any of the managers or any of the other staff there, because they were all great. I mean, there was one, but anyway. Yeah, and I was there by myself, and as I was to understand it, I wasn't really allowed to do anything. Like, I wasn't allowed to have music playing, or I wasn't allowed to have a newspaper there that I could read, or a book, or my phone. Anyway, I wasn't allowed to have my phone or anything, so I couldn't like text my friends and keep entertained or go on Facebook or. So basically, I was standing there just looking at the door all day and watching the world go by, watching people have fun and live their life, and I'm sitting in a shop bored out of my brain. So basically, I started getting these pains again in September, August, September sort of time, and I went to the doctor. I had to go home sick a couple of days, and which I thought was actually really rude of my managers, just saying. I'm not trying to badmouth them or anything, but I was like, okay, I'm not feeling very well. You know, I've got to go home. You know, I don't feel physically well enough to work. I felt like I had nausea. And I went to the toilet and, you know, had the old, I don't want to say it, but you know what I mean. And I'm moving my hands like you can see me, like I'm a fucking retard. Anyway, yeah, I had the old things, and I said, you know, I don't want to be here if there's a risk that I'm gonna, you know, throw up in front of or on a customer. You know, that's not good customer service. And I was trained at one of my old jobs to always have good customer service. So he was the way that it was handled was probably not very good, in my opinion. And they did let me go home eventually, but they made a big fuss about it, and that was what annoyed me. Like, they couldn't just say, "Yeah, just go." You know, they didn't. It was almost as if they didn't care about my well-being. They just wanted the shop to be run, and that kind of annoyed me. So, anyway, so yeah, I started getting these pains again. I'm repeating myself now, but I'm trying to get to where I'm going. And I went to the doctor, and he said, "You've got hyperacidity." And I think, looking back, that was legitimate. I probably did have that because my diet was horrible. I wasn't eating breakfast in the morning. I was getting a coffee before work, having that, and then not eating till like 2 o'clock. So I wasn't eating anything at all till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And that was when I was getting hungry, and my body was producing more acid, and then I was getting that burning sensation. So that was probably legit. I mean, that was my bad. That's all me. I can't blame anybody for that. But I still had the sharp stabbing pains, and my doctor couldn't figure out what it was. And eventually, this whole work thing sort of progressed, and I get a call one night, and it's one of my managers, and he said that someone told him that I posted something about him on Facebook, which is completely not true. I mean, I'm not that petty to post something about someone on Facebook like that. Like, he spoke to me about going to the doctor, and how it was too short notice and I need to have more notice and stuff. But there's not much I can really do about that, because if you're sick, you're sick. And I said that to him, you know, I said, no doctors are open on the weekend, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. It got to the point where I was stressing out over this, because somebody obviously dobbed me in. I mean, there's no two ways about it. And it was getting to the point where I felt like somebody was out to get me, and that's probably just paranoia, but that's what I felt like. So that's where I started stressing, and it got to the point where I was standing there, and it was a Monday, and I had just came back from lunch, and I just felt so ugh, you know, I just felt, and I was stressing. I don't know why. There was absolutely no reason for me to stress, but I was stressing, and I was anxious and nervous, and there's absolutely no reason, because I'd done that job a million times, and I'd been there for a year almost. So it wasn't exactly a hard task, but I was stressing, and it got to the point where I had to physically fight the urges to, like, just completely and utterly break down, and that was really hard. I mean, I really just felt like bawling my eyes out like a 12-year-old boy. I don't think 12-year-old boys cry that much, but, like, say it's like a 5-year-old boy, alright? Get that straight. And, yeah, I went home that night and sort of do what I normally do. I sort of put on the regular normal face and not show what's going on for real. And in the morning, got up to go to work, and it clicked. It just happened. And I just couldn't do it. I could not bring myself to put on that uniform and go to work. I just couldn't do it. I was just so anxious and nervous about doing it that my body physically said, no, you're not going to do it. I'm going to make you not do it. And I literally cried. Like, I was bawling, and I haven't cried that hard in years. Like, I haven't cried for years. So that's the toll that stress can have on you. So if you're having a stressful time at work or school, definitely talk to someone about it. Don't bottle it up like I did. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, smack that like button, because it really helps me, and thanks for watching.